So yeah, Thomas Cecily Jr. here, aka Mustached Tom, here to review Gem and the Holograms. And yeah, I know I am super late, and I've only heard super bad things about this movie, so I was almost reluctant to even have seen it. I mean, I know it was only in theaters for like what, a week or not even. I don't know. I saw it though, but I will say this before I even get into the review. I barely remember Gem and the Holograms. I mean, I didn't watch the show or anything. And so, as a reviewer, I had to go in with no anything of what the original was. So I went into this movie and it still wasn't that great as a standalone film. Now, that's what I'm trying to review this movie as. So, for those of you who did see Gem and the Holograms, I'm pretty sure there are reviewers out there who have done that. So, here is my review. So, this young girl, I think her real name is like Jane or I can't remember her real name, but I'll just call her Gem because that's what they end up calling her anyway. So Gem is like this young girl, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm super shy and everything," and her sister and her friends are making these music videos and stuff, uh, and they proceed to do that, and then Gem makes this one video and she's uncertain about what she wants to do with it, and then her sister posts it online, and within seconds of putting it up on the YouTube, it gets spread all over. And yeah, my first assumption was, man, was this made like when YouTube started? Like, I don't think that happens anymore, at least not, it's very extremely rare if that ends up being the case. But anyways, she's like, "Oh, I'll grab my friends and they'll sign this contract with this manager who comes in," and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna be Gem." Um, Meanwhile, that's going on. Gem finds this robot called Synergy that her dad left her, that leaves her all these clues that tell her all these things that she apparently already knows, I guess. So they go to all these locations, like after they do the first song, and they're popular live. Uh, they go to this pier where they could have gotten arrested because the pier was locked down. They end up running away, doing some song, blah blah blah. They end up going to this other place where they do another song, and then they get another clue, and then Gem is then put in a place where she either signs a contract to go solo or they lose everything. And she signs it as Gem. Now, this is probably among one of the many other issues I have with this movie. If you signed a contract with your stage name, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't count. But anyways, technicalities aside, she goes solo. She does it. And then her sister and her friends are like, "Oh, we hate you. Oh, we don't really hate you." Um, then her guy boyfriend is like, "Oh, I drove you here to your place because GPS." I don't know how they've. I guess the sister told them where they live or lived at one point. So they're like, "Oh, we know the last coup. It's this thing, the earring things." And then she gets the message from her dad, like, "Oh, I'm telling you this all stuff, blah blah blah." It's trying to get emotional and stuff at this point, and yada yada yada. Um, and then it's like, "Oh, I gotta reveal who Jem really is." And then she goes up on stage, final performance. They get uh the manager to quit because the guy found this thing where it's like, "Oh, my dad said I could take over the company whenever I wanted." Um, because convenience. So Jem's like, oh, I'm gonna reveal who we really are, and then she says, "You're all Jem, but I'm not actually gonna reveal who I really am, stupid." um, so yeah, that was a bit of a slap to the face. And then that's about it. And then there are a bunch of YouTube videos in this movie, and I can see why they took this movie down. This movie has plenty of issues. One of the main ones being the YouTube videos are a bit more interesting than this entire movie. I mean, the acting's pretty generic. You don't really even feel too invested in the emotional scene. You know, you're following this ex machina around, and it's sort of like it comes into play at the most convenient at times. I mean, they end up doing their second gig right where the second clue is. So, this movie is about super conveniences, and it plays on itself. Like one of the lines in the movie is like, "Hey, you're sexist if you think this way," and then they proceed to act that very way. Like, why would you write that? It doesn't really make sense. If you're trying to prove a point, don't directly do the thing you said that you weren't going to do. That's being a hypocrite. I mean, you know, uh, let's see, anything else? This movie isn't that good. So I would give it a 2 out of 10. It's not that good. The emotional scene is passable, I guess. But again, I didn't really feel that invested. And though, like I said, the only other thing I found like slightly, even remotely, kind of interesting were those other YouTube videos. So that's my review for Jim and the Holograms. I'm sure very little people saw this movie because they took it out. But anyways, that's my review. So this has been Thomas Cecily Jr., aka Mustached Tom, and I'll see you guys next time.